Good morning. It's still good morning. Thank you for coming, and thank you for the organizer inviting me to be here to share our experience about how Science Park can help the Chinese economy. In China, we have a lot of science parks. We don't know how many because the different channel will give different data. But why the Chinese government put a lot of resource on creating science park and the innovation park and the incubators? And what is the function of those kind of incubator and the science park? So today I would like to use this about 25 minutes to share with you what is the main function, what is the contribution for Chinese science park contribute to China economy. So my presentation will be including those content, but actually some part I will go very quickly. China economy development is very quickly. You see this picture shows the GDP increase in the past 40 years. I think in China's history, this is never happened again. And also it's difficult happening in other countries. You can see it's 240 times than 40 years ago. It's a big increase. And also, China is the #2 now, the GDP in the world. And we contribute nearly 30% of the world economy growth in 2018. But anybody have the question asking, where the GDP come from? Where those GDP come from? I can show you one picture like this. You know, the Chinese production efficiency is very low. This shows to produce 1 unit GDP, how many energy we have consumed compared with the world average and compared with Japan. That means Japan uses only 1 car of the coal. They can produce the GDP. And this GDP can be produced in China. We have to use 6 cars of the coal. So answer one question. The Chinese GDP is very much dependent on the energy consumption, the consumption of the natural resource. Another slide will give you more ideas. This is the GDP per capita. People always saying China now becomes the second largest economy in the world. Will be sometimes will be the leader. No. Too far away from that point. Because if you see the GDP per capita, China is here. It's below to the world average. And the United States here. Singapore, Japan, they are all here. Imagine how many years for Chinese people need to improve this one from here to here? How many years? 5, 10, 50? Not enough. Not enough. So this is far away from the leader of the world. Give you one more example. The iPhone produced in China. If you want to produce an iPhone, you have to purchase the component from anywhere of the world. So you're purchasing the component like a battery, $4, cameras, $26. You put them all together, it's $300 for purchasing the parts to make the iPhone, right? And then you can sell it in the market, $700. And the difference is $450. Well, you put more cost on that for $100 per phone. Then that means the net profit is about $350. And if you say iPhone X, the net profit is $500. The iPhone is made in China. How much China's people can get to produce 1 unit of the iPhone? $10. $10 around. But that is not the profit. That is the manufacturing cost we got. How much money we can get from this $10? Well, 2, 3 net profit. iPhone can get 500 net profit, but the iPhone made in China, the Chinese factory can get only $2 or $3 net profit. See this big difference. See, that's why the government and the people now think the innovation is so important for China's future. China is the country, you always visit China for 1 week. We bring you to a very good place. But the other place, you don't have chance to see. The China is like the book with so many pages. But for many people, they can have only chance to read few pages. See, like this, we have Opera House. I think this is #1 in the world. Inside the Opera House, we have many theaters, right? But at the same time, we have people living in this house. We have primary school, very good in the big city, but we have the student studying in this classroom. This is not the picture from 10 years ago. This is today. So China is a very special country. Right? We are far away from the leader of the world. We have to focus on our own challenge, our own problems. So that means China is really still a developing country, and we have many, many challenges. We have to make some change in the development mode from made in China to created in China. So made in China is very famous. I think every corner of the world have the products produced made in China. Made in China make Chinese people have a great improvement for the living standard. But in the future, we have to do something. We have to catch up, not only stay on made in China, but how we change from made in China to created in China. That means we need some science research result in the professor's table to transfer to the market, to be a commercial producers. So this will need a qualified result and need a very good ecosystem, and then helping the small and medium enterprise, they're working very hard to transfer the technology from table to the market. So that is very important way. That means the small and medium enterprise is one of the important driving force to make China from made in China to created in China. So that means we need somebody to help, how to help the small companies grow up quickly and easy. We give you one example, how these trees grow up without any people to taking care, because they have very good ecosystem. They have the temperature, they have the sunshine, they have everything they need. So how can we find a good ecosystem for the small companies, small high technology companies? Do we have this kind of a place in our world? Yes, we have. That is Silicon Valley. That is my question asked for the previous speakers. Because they have a very good ecosystem, and then so they generate many high technology companies for so many years. That means if we can create a good ecosystem for small companies, the problem solved. Unfortunately, the ecosystem is not that easy to be created. So this table shows the China ecosystem compared with the other area of the world. We still have a big challenge. The best is the infrastructure, but the weakness for us is the university. You see, we can get only 34, but Silicon Valley, 88. There's a big difference from Chinese university and United States university in the innovation ecosystem. So what we can do? If the ecosystem is not good, what we can do? We wait another 50 years for climate change. No, I don't think somebody gave us another 50 years. So luckily, we are smart enough. We cannot change the overall situation, but we can build a small greenhouse. That the inside ecosystem is a little bit better than outside. So this is the concept of the incubators, science parks, WeWorks, co-working space, whatever you want to call. The key issue is, can you provide a better ecosystem inside the science park or not? If you can, good, you're a science park. If you cannot, you are just a building, a normal office. Okay, so this is the concept of the incubator and the science park. That means inside the science park, you can do many things more. So, science park is a very powerful tool, but how can you make a science park work? How can you improve the efficiency of the science park? And then we have the knowledge showing there's 4 key elements to run the good science park. First one, you have to understand what is the demand for the small companies today, what they really need. Secondly, what do you have on your hand to help them? You want to help them, what is the things in your pocket you can share with them? And thirdly, where are you going to build up your incubator or science park? What is the best location for the incubators? And the last one, who is the person working very hard inside the greenhouse to helping the small companies, the service platform, and the service people, and the service content. So that is the key issue. So science park in China really help the Oh, that is something innovative. The science park really help the small companies grow up by, knowledge, policy implement, human resource, technology, finance, marketing. The science park help the small companies grow up. And then the small company help the local social and economic development by technology transfer, human capital, new products, new business models, and new jobs. So this slide shows why we need a science park. Because a science park can help a lot, can be the engine for the innovation of China economy ecosystem. That is why in China we have many, many science parks. In the national level, we have 300 incubators for 2,500. We have national level university science park, more than 100. So many, many science parks. Those science parks contribute to China GDP. It's about 23% of the GDP come from science park. So this is really big industry in China. So now I want to share one case, one example of good science park in China. This science park names TusPark. TusPark, the names come from Tsinghua University Science Park. And this science park, we have many tenants. We understand the demands. So we have big companies like Google, like NEC, like Toyota, who are setting up the innovation and research center in the science park. We have many Chinese local companies also working in the science park. Importantly, we have more than 600 small and high technology companies who are in our incubator and the science parks. That is the target. That is the company we are focused on. That is the purpose of what we do the science park. They are the hope for China, from made in China to create in China. So we understand the demands from big company and medium-sized company and the small companies. The demand is different. For small company, they need consulting and training. For big company, they need a basic service and good hardware. We understand the demand from the stage of the development of the one company. When they come here the first year, second year, the fifth year, the 10th year, the demand is different. So we give them different support. We connect the tenants to different resources. To the government, we invite many government officers to come here to understand what they need and give them what they need. And then we connect to the industry. Many companies, we let them talk to each other to generate some new ideas. we connect them to the university. If they need some help from the university, we are the people to make a phone call, to make a meeting, to introduce them to the professors. We have a financial platform which have different funds, seed funds, angel fund, and VC fund, ready to help the company in a different stage development. And we have many committees, and we work with different agencies. For instance, the human resource and also the IP protections. And we set up our service platform very early in 2003, 2002. Before the building finished, we already have our service team ready. This is the content of the service we provide to our tenants. Say like a basic service, the cultural activities. Have 10,000 young people in your science park. You have to take care about their daily life. And also we have added value service. That means we have to read the government policy and translate the language that people can understand, and helping the small company to apply some kind of a fund from the government. Many, say, investment, technology transfer, human resource, communication, the other agent projects. Those are the things we are basic for everyday life. In the big greenhouse, we have a small greenhouse inside for special technology. For small companies which are less than 20 people, we call them incubator, and we call them TusStar. And the incubators, we are not running only one. We are running a big network in China, more than 150 incubators in every city. So we are running a big network. And not only the small incubator, we are also constructing a big science city, like 1 million square meters, with a school, hospital, conference center, shopping mall, and in R&D centers, we put them together. It's a bigger site. So we are really running a big network. You put the incubator, science park, science city together, it's more than 200 bases. We have our management team here, Mr. Zhang and our colleagues also here. They are coming from the different bases of China. Now we have very good remarks from some people, say TusPark. Okay, so inside our incubators, many high technology companies. For instance, this company, they are making the black box who is recording the vessels, every data recorded. And they got a huge order from Chinese local companies. This company, they're making the digital and analog transformation of the signal of the television. You see, they start from incubator from zero, and now becomes a very big company in Chinese market. We have many companies like this. This is the company, they're doing the laser. I think the laser device, which can be used for the car industry, for the VR and the automotives. And these people making the IC chips. The IC chips before is IC chips for calculating and IC chips for memory. Now they put the calculating and the memory together. This company is doing for 5G technology using on the non-driver automotive car. So they can calculate and give the solution for the car. And this, so the 3D, use laser technology to take the 3D pictures. So the face recognition technology. This company is doing the calculation. They have different views from the car, so they can collect the information and calculate and give the result to the central computing. And this is for positioning. You use the laser equipment to positioning the parts in the production line. And this one also is the radar, use the laser radar for the automatic technology. And this one, they use 5G technology to do the cleaning machine, which can clean the bigger area without people to taking care. So those are the companies that we are working for, and this is the function, main function of the science park. TusPark is a very big science park, but who is the manager? Who is running the science park? Is the university or the government? No, it's a commercial company. We call them Tus-Holdings. Tus-Holdings is coming from Tsinghua University, and this university is a top university in China. The Chinese president is graduating from Tsinghua University as well. And also, the university have industry platform. They are not only do research and education, but also run the business. So they have a Tsinghua Holdings, hold many high technology companies, because we believe that university direct running business can help the technology transfer very easy and faster. So Tus-Holdings is one of the big player in the Tsinghua Holdings. We have big shareholder from Tsinghua University. The other three is from private sectors. So we are mixed structures. We have a headquarters, we have 800 subsidiary companies. We work on the science park incubator. We work on the industrial platform and the financial platform. This is our business. So we are pure commercial company, but we help a lot for the China ecosystem build up. Not only in China, we have many businesses around the world. We have incubator in the United States. We have an incubator in Michigan University. We have an incubator and art design school in Italy. We have an incubator in Hong Kong. We have worked with the Trinity College of the Cambridge Science Park. We build up our science park in the campus of the Cambridge Science Park. We work with Thailand government. We open our digital incubator in Bangkok. And we organize many activities to do the match. Say we bring our small companies to Bangkok and let the local company meet the Chinese company together. So we are very interested about this today's exhibition over there. We talk many companies, so we are intent to by next year, this time, we will bring maybe 20 or 30 Chinese companies to come here to meet our local startups. I think it's very valued activities. We have an incubator in Kuala Lumpur. We have helped the Mongolia government. We work with the Australia University of New South Wales to build up the science park. We work with the British University of Egypt to help them to build up the science park in Cairo. So that is the time for Chinese to help the developing countries to build up the ecosystem, including the incubator and the science parks. We work with Kazakhstan University and Finland, Korea. So today is for me, it's very happy to have this chance to introduce about the TusPark, about Tus-Holdings, and also why China need innovation, why China need a good ecosystem and incubator and science park. We hope we can take this chance, we can understand each other, so in the future we can make some opportunities. We take some opportunities to build up the bridge between Lithuania here and China, that people meet, shaking their hand, and make something happen. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Let us just see, because we still have a little bit of time, if there's a question from the audience. Yes, there is a question in the middle. Can you please state your name and affiliation? Thank you.
Yes, I'm from Portugal. I represent an organization called SPI. I'm a member of the board. And we are already in China for 20 years. We have an office in Beijing, and we work in all the areas of science, technology, and innovation. So I'll also talk with you after the presentation. So very good presentation. Actually, I already visited TusPark, and so I have been there, and we have a very strong cooperation with Tsinghua University. So my question is, it's still challenged for Europeans to do work to cooperate with China in all the topics of science, technology, and innovation. What do you think are the major challenges in these difficulties on the cooperation still?
Thank you, and I'm very happy to know you have been our science park before. I think the cooperation is the goal, and the cooperation is the future. And the cooperation is the base for everything. So in this world, no one can survive by themselves. But how can we make the cooperation successful? How can we make a successful cooperation? I think the first element is you have to know each other. Not only from the newspaper, not only from the website, the TV, magazines. You have to actually to make the friend. You have to shake in your hand, face by face, and understand the situation for both sides. And that is the primary ideas. The people understand China, understand Beijing, most of they come from the media, right? But when you stay in Beijing for 1 week, when you stay in Beijing for 1 month, when you stay learning in Beijing, you study in Beijing for 3 years, you are totally changing the idea. So I think answer the question, the first point is we have to make a great effort to understand each other. This is the key issue. The other way is you have to find a good partner. Beijing is the concept, the university is the concept, but which university you go and which companies you go, who are you going to talk? I think that is also important. For our successful story to cooperate with other countries, it's always because we choose the best partner. The partner who are honored, who have a strong ability, who have strong, willing to do something, and then you can make something happen.
Thank you very much. And once again, a big hand to Mr. Hongbo Chen.